Hey guys, so I'm doing the steering head bearing on my bolt. So I already went ahead and took my handlebars off. Yours will be different, mine are aftermarket. Now I'm working on getting this speedometer off, and that's right here, little bolt right there, and then there's another one on this side right there. And they are, what fits that is 5/16. 5/16 fits it pretty good, and you can take it right off. I couldn't find something in metric to get it off, so whatever fits, right? What I do is, when I take it off, what I'll do is I'll put the bolts right back in the holes, and then that way I don't lose it. So I'll get this off, I'll come back. Okay, so now I got my tank off, and what you do there is you get two underneath it. I had changed mine out because when I bought my bike it didn't have any, so I put some 13mm bolts on there. I don't know what you're gonna have, but you got two down here, and then you got a clip down here at the back, which you can, once you get all the stuff off at the front here, you can slide it up and tilt the tank upwards, and then you can get to this plug on the back. And then on this side you have this fuel line right here, which is just a rubber hose that has a clamp on it, and it goes into this little clip. Okay, so you take that one off, and then this one right here has hooks to the fuel pump module. It has the fuel pump comes down, and it has a quick connect fitting in there. I'll show you that here in a second. And you just pull the clip out, and then you pull this off, pull it out. It's a little difficult, but give it a nice tug, and it should pop out. And I just take the tank off just so when I'm messing around up here, I'm not gonna hit it and ding it and mess it up. It gives me enough space to do what I need to do. All right, so let me show you this thing on the tank. I think I have to excuse the mess. Get this thing ready to go. All right, so here's the quick connect plug. So you just pull this. This is the gray clip. You pull it out towards you. Okay. I take my little hooker and I stick the hooker in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Stick the hooker in there and pull it out, and then you pull this and the other part apart. Anyways, that's how you do that. And I'll come back when I get the rest of this stuff done. Hold on. Okay, so now we got we take the nut off here, and we take these, loosen these guys up. Don't take them out. It's a 6 Allen. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a screwdriver here, stick it in there, and we're gonna pound it a little bit, and that's just gonna spread that open so that this piece can come up, so we can take this top triple tree right off of the fork tubes. And then what that's gonna allow me to do is, I took the headlight off and everything up here, which the headlight is bolted on right there. There's two, one on that side, one on this side, and the other side. 10mm bolts, and that takes the headlight bracket off. What I'm gonna do is I take this triple tree off, then all these things that run in the middle of it, all these wires and stuff, I can then just lift them up and put them on this side. So that's why they're all dangling up front right now. So give me a second, I'm gonna get this off and I'll come back. Okay, so now I got this guy off. But you got two for your turn signals right there, and that is the 6 Allen key. Number 6 Allen key. And those guys would come off, and then what you do is I took my little mini sledge here and tapped it while holding my handlebar mounts and tapped it right off. So now that comes off. Now I'm gonna move all these wires and stuff that are in the way and move them back here, and then we'll start getting into these nuts right here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I got everything on this side, like I was saying. So I got everything, moved over on this side. I had to take my little hooker to get the wires through here. The turn signal was plugged in, and that's an easy one. You just go take your little hooker and you hook it. I'm trying to show you. Right here. See that? That's a clip, and you hook it back here on the back side. You pull this up, and then you can pull this part out. And then just move it out of the way. Okay. Everything's good that way. Now I'm going to take the front wheel off. Just the front wheel, so we take the axle nut out. Axle nut and the axle rod. Ramrod. And then slide the front wheel off. And then what we'll do then is we'll take these bolts out for these pinch points here on both sides, and we'll slide the axle tubes together. I'm gonna leave them connected to the fender. I should hold it all together as one thing. Should be able to slide that guy off, and the brake's gonna be connected to it. So I'm gonna try to keep it. Well, I'm gonna I'll take the caliper off, and then we'll slide that thing down. The caliper can just dangle, and then that'll give us the triple tree only sitting up here. Then what we do is we'll take these nuts off top. We'll drop this triple tree out, and then we can get to smacking the bearings out of there, and smacking the bearings out, and then putting new ones in. So we're getting there. Just take a little bit of time. Take you a smoke break or drink break or whatever kind of break you want to do. All right, be right back. All right, so the next thing was my brake caliper. What I did there was I took these two bolts out of I didn't take the caliper off the bracket. I just took the bracket and caliper off as one piece. And so let me show you where that's at. That's right here, there and there, okay? And that is a, I believe it was a 12 millimeter. So 12 millimeter on that. And then I did the pinch bolts. Let me get over here. I did the pinch bolts here. And those are what is this? Damn it, I can't stand up. I can't sit down. Let's see here. A 6 Allen. Again, keep that 6 Allen handy, because it comes in handy quite a bit here. You're going to use it. And then the axle nut was a 19 millimeters. So after you take those two pinch bolt nuts or pinch bolt things right here, just loosen them up, almost coming out, just so the heads stick out a little ways. And then you just take this guy off, and once you get it to some point, you're gonna have to grab it and twist it and pull it at the same time, and it'll slide out. And while you do that, hold your wheel up, and then once you pull it out, your wheels just slide right out. Set it aside, and then now we'll get these pinch bolts, which let's see what size they are right quick, and that way I ain't got to come back and inform you later. There it is. It is an 8. So those on the side are 8, and so we'll break these loose, And then the tubes, well, I probably have to take these turn signals off because the tubes aren't going to slide out otherwise. So we'll take those pinch bolts out, then we'll do the screwdriver trick, just spread it, slide this whole fork assembly out, and then we'll just be this triple tree left, the bottom piece. And then we'll come back and do the rest of it. So sit tight, be right back. And there we go. There she's out. Like I said, just loosen these, spread them with a screwdriver, and then you just tap them out. Just be careful, don't booger up your top caps there. And tap them out, and you're good to go. Now I'm gonna take me a break, and then when I come back, I'm gonna work on getting these nuts off, and then dropping this piece out. So yeah, we'll be back. Bye. Okay, so what I did, or what you do, oh God, I'm falling down. So this is what we got here. That's what we got here. So it's gonna look like this, okay? And then you got this piece, sorry, and you got this piece that goes on top, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this piece off first, okay? And what I did is I just took it and flipped it around. That way I don't lose it. Then you take a flat blade screwdriver and you stick it right in one of these little spots here on the top nut, and you hammer it till it comes loose, okay? Then you unscrew it all the way to the top. That's the top, because I already got it unscrewed. You can see the threads down here. And then, so that's gonna be spaced away from the bottom one. Then you do the same thing for the bottom. Bottom one's gonna be a lot tighter. And then you hammer it till it breaks loose. And when it breaks loose, then what you can do is you can go underneath it, and you might have to push this from underneath and push it up into the neck, to the steering neck there. So that way you're not putting pressure against the nut, and then it'll be easier to spin off. You can spin it off with your fingers. And then once you get them loose, take them off. This whole piece should slide out of the neck. And what we'll do is we'll get that bearing out here in a second. And then you got a cap. There's a cap on top. You just pop the cap off, and we're gonna pop that bearing out of there. And I got the new ones to put in. So let me pop this bearing out and get the bearing off of that guy, and I'll be right back. All right, so there's my new bearing race installed. Here's an old piece. I couldn't get out with a screwdriver. Normally you can get a screwdriver from up underneath to go in there and go underneath the outer edge and pop them up all the way around, but I couldn't, there wasn't enough edge to do that. So I had to take my little Harbor Freight Dremel thing down there with a reinforced cutoff wheel, and I just cut it enough to where I could hammer it. And then I boogered the inside just a little bit, you know, but nothing terrible. You can see that it's nothing terrible. And then I hammered it out, and you just gotta keep messing with it and make sure you go all the way around in a circle. So if you get knocked this side, go on this side and tap it. You might tap it here and then go a little bit here and a little bit here, and just work it around until it comes out, and you'll get it. Just gotta mess with it. I even at one point went like this, had this little smaller, thinner screwdriver underneath the edge holding it, and then I took the other bigger screwdriver up through the bottom and pushed on the inside underneath the screwdriver. So I just used this as the lip. So I stuck it in between the crack there. You can't see, yeah, the little crack, and stuck it in that crack, hammered it in so it would kind of hold it, and then put that big screwdriver through here, and then whacked it from the bottom, and it would pop it up a little bit. And then I go on this opposite side and do it, and so on and so forth. Work it out. now that's done. Now we have to get, and there's my bearing for that. So I'm gonna set that guy over here. So now we got to get this race off. This one is gonna be fun too, but at least this one I can sit down for. So let me look at how I'm gonna get this guy off. It looks like I might be able to just hit it right there in that crack with a screwdriver and she'll pop off. But I'll let you know. Be right back. Okay, so this one was a lot easier. I whacked it a few times trying to get it underneath it, but I couldn't get it, so I went with the old cut a notch in it trick. Let me see, there we go. I cut a notch in it, and then I just took my screwdriver, stuck it right in that notch, and hammered it. And that was enough to snap it and break it. And it's got loose now. Now I can just slide her off. And then we'll put the new one on. So let's slide her off. It's hot, so I don't want to. Okay, this around, and it only got a little nick right there. Not a big deal. I'll make sure I smooth it out before I put it all together. But now we'll take our new bearing, which is right here, and we'll put it on. So be right back. I forgot one. I forgot that there's one up here. So we gotta get that one out next. So I'm gonna do the same thing, just gonna cut a notch in it and then hammer it to split it. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll be back. Bye. Alright guys, so there's that. There's that one out. Did the same thing, grinded it. Ground on it. You can't see, hold on. Let it focus, there we go. Cut it just enough to where I can snap it. And then once it's snapped, you can hammer it out. And we'll go in and deburr that where I ground on it so it's a nice flat surface again. Clean it up and then whack the new bearing race into that. So be right back. What you can do is what I did. Get a big socket and put it, one that fits just the outer edge of your bearing, and sit it down. See, this fits just on it. And then sit it down on top and whack it. And then I'll push it in. And same thing for the bottom. Okay guys, so I got the bottom one. I went back over it and hammered it in. And that worked good. So what I did is I took this extension and I stuck it like this and then whacked it, and that worked better than the socket trick. Just hurt my hand. It comes with a greased bearing. So what you do there is you get some grease and you just pack it inside. Look up a YouTube video how to pack bearings with grease. And then I greased the shaft a little bit, not too much, just enough to get it coated. And then there's another one of those things that comes with the kit, is this like seal, this little gasket seal thing that slides on first, and then you put your bearing on. And the bearings didn't go any further than that because I guess it's more of a pressed on, but really I thought it would slide on there, but it doesn't really slide on. So I don't know why. It says the old ones slid off easy peasy, but this one's stuck on there. But I think it's okay. It should go down once I put it in. It should work. It should pull itself down on top of it and be good. But I don't know, we'll see. But I just wanted to show you the little gaskets and stuff. And then this one goes right back on top of this, like that. So that's sealed up, so the stuff can get in there. So now I'm gonna slide it in, put the nut on it, and see if it will pull that in further. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll have to figure that out. But I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I got going on here. It's going in. So what I did was I took the two nuts, I put them on there, and then I I tighten it down. Put the it's kind of an acorn nut. Put that nut on top and tightened it down as far as I could get it to go down, which pushed that bearing on the bottom on the stem a little bit further. And then I took it off, and I had the washer on there as well, which it fell down here into the abyss. Well, somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. It fell into the abyss. So I'm gonna put that down there. I took the washer off, and then I took the old race from one of those plastic bearings down there and put it in here, and then only a few threads fit, so I tightened it slowly, and I'm just gonna keep going at it. And it will eventually pull this guy all the way in, and then I'll come back when it's on. Be right back. Okay, guys. So what I ended up doing was, like I said, I put what I said I was gonna do is I stacked these guys up. You know, the old races. That one, and what's the other one? It's around here somewhere. Oh, it's way over there. That one, I stuck them on top of each other, and then just took the nut that goes on top and just tightened it down, and it forced it. It pressed it down on the thing there. Just be careful when you do it. You're putting a lot of force on everything. Go slow and steady. And yeah, so now I'll just put it in, and I'll tighten these guys on it, and then it'll be installed. And then you just put everything back together like you would. Everything that came off, you just put it back together. Which I'm not gonna go through all that because I still got work to do. I got to redo this wiring that previous owner did. I mean, look at it. He made his own wiring harness, I guess, so he could extend the handlebars. So I'm gonna redo all this and clean it up. So I'm not going to be putting it back together anytime soon. But that's how you do your steering bearings. Pretty simple. If you have any questions, you can, well, let me not say pretty simple. It's challenging. If you don't know what you're doing, it's challenging. I wouldn't do it. But if you are mechanically inclined and you're good at thinking on your feet, then you can manage it. You can do it. I'm doing it with a cold, so if I can do it with a cold, I'm sure you guys can do it if you're mechanically inclined. Anyways, so yeah, that's what you do. That's what it is. For this, I believe what you want to do is you want to tighten it. You want to put these on there and screw them down as tight as they'll go. Hit it with a hammer until it gets hard to move the fork. When you can't move the fork easily, then you need to back it off. Back it off a little bit and then check it. Back it off a little bit and check it until it moves just the right amount. You know, you don't want it to move really easily, but you don't want it to move, you don't want it to be too tight. So just in the middle. You want it to be stiff because it's not going to be as loose as it was with the old ones, because the old ones were worn out. So it's still going to be a little stiff. You want it to be a little stiff, but not really stiff. Okay, so you're gonna have to just feel it. I don't know the proper way of doing that, but that's how I'm gonna go with it because that's how I did it on my old bike. So yeah, you just put one of these on, tighten it down till this thing gets tight, and then like I said, once it's really tight and it's hard to move, back it off a little bit, see if you can move it and get it to where it moves just firmly, not because once you put all this stuff on there, you're going to have leverage and you're going to be able to move it easily. So don't have to worry about it that big of a deal, but make sure you tighten it enough to where it's not over tight, because if you over tighten it, then you can mess up your bearings. So just enough. You'll know when you feel it. So that's that. That's not very scientific, I know, but I'm not a scientific person. I just do it by feel, the old feeler gauge. So good luck. Like I said, if you have any questions, just holler at me. I'll be willing to help the best I can. All right, bye.